like, I like driving in the snow. Yo, I'm in a fucking full-on snowstorm, and I came to a shipper I've been to before that was nice and easy, a quick little drop and hook, no big whoop, right? Yeah, no big whoop, ain't shit, right? No big deal. Minnesota was like, hold my beer. I just had a real trying experience here where I couldn't pull the trailer out of the dock. Then I got stuck under the trailer. It took a while to get out. I ended up calling maintenance and getting some pointers for how to get out from under it. I tried kitty litter, and I had bought the lightweight kitty litter because it was the only fucking kind they had, and that shit is pointless because it's basically sand. And the trick he told me, I can't dump air from my airbags. I don't have that capability in this truck, but I did obviously raise the nose of the trailer as high as I could and put on the interaxle lock and turn off the traction control, turn the traction control off. And that made it possible for me to get out. This was all after I jacked myself so hard right in the cheek with the handle of the landing gear. It's right at face height, and I have to like stay back from it when I'm cranking it because I'm short. And I hit myself so hard that it like rung my bell, and my fucking head has been hurting ever since, and my face hurts. And I just took snow off the ground, and I've been walking around with snow on my face. Now I'm gonna get under this trailer that this lovely yard driver moved out for me, and I'm gonna pray that I can fucking get under it and hook up and get the fuck out of here. But I'm telling myself, well, I could have been in a ditch, and I shouldn't even say those words because it could still happen today. A lot of shit could still happen. Fingers crossed, prayers up. You know, I'm saying that a little tongue-in-cheek, or fucking landing gear handle in cheek. Fuck, man, what a day. You see this guy right here? He keeps giving someone the business. So I made it to a Love's. This was a fairly stressful drive, and I said that I like driving in the snow. I don't mind driving in the snow when it's not like it was today, which is Minnesota snow. Chicago snow gets like this sometimes too, but it's basically like, it's pretty windy. There's a lot of drifts across the highway. I think there's definitely some black ice, and I was driving an empty for a short distance earlier, and I definitely lost traction a couple of times, and you feel your whole body like, because it's fucking terrifying, and you just basically stop doing everything except steering, and you just pray that you don't lose control. And you know, thankfully when those instances happened, I was doing under 30 miles an hour. And that's the thing, is like, you see some people flying and they might have heavier trucks. You know, my truck definitely doesn't have the weight to handle like this type of roads that are like this. A little bit ago, I got back on the road after that stop where I was having such a hard time getting under the moving the trailer, getting under the trailer and all that. And I got back on the road, and I drove for a while, like maybe 2 hours, and then I stopped at a Casey's, and I just stopped for a pee break and to like put another address into my GPS and stuff. And then I got back on the road. I'm like, I still have like over 3 hours on my clock. I don't want to shut down yet. It's too early to shut down. And not too long after I got back on the highway, almost immediately I was like, that was a bad idea, because there was a rolled over small truck, like some type of a large pickup type truck, or like I don't even know what kind of truck it was. The whole top was smashed in, and I think there was a driver that was on the ground that was being assisted by EMS, and there were so many vehicles, and I was like, emergency vehicles, and I was just like, this is not a good time to be driving. I need to get off the road. And most of the trucks were doing like 30 to 40 miles an hour in a 70 mile per hour stretch of I-35 I was going south, and I'm going from Minnesota into Iowa, going toward Davenport. I'm going to be headed down to, I think, Southern Illinois. I need to double check that. You know, it was that thing where it's like, I could keep driving, but I'm going so slow. I don't feel like I don't have confidence in the traction that I have, and I have a light load. I only have like 15,000 pounds, and it's like a double-edged sword, because it is nice in a sense that I have some weight, but I don't have so much weight that it's really scary to, like, if someone gets in front of me and I have to suddenly come to a stop, I don't have to be as worried about it. But I would rather have a little bit more weight. Even if I had like 25,000 pounds, I think it would feel less stressful than having what I have now. So I drove for a little while longer, and then I was like, you know what? No, I need to stop. So I came to this Love's, and I parked over in one of those areas that's like, it's one of those things where there's a dead end street that's right outside of the parking lot, and it's probably abutting a farm or something, and there was a couple of other trucks backed up in here, and their lot was super full and I couldn't get a spot. There's a large Petro across the street, but I have a shitload of free showers at Love's. So of course I stopped at Love's, because after my day I need a hot shower. It was a really annoying day. I had a really irritating exchange with a dispatcher who talked to me like I was a 5-year-old, and I was kind of in meltdown mode at that moment. So I am trying to be understanding about the tone that she took with me, but I still found it pretty unacceptable. And I think it's hard to have compassion for dispatchers who have never done your fucking job before, and when you're calling them and you're upset about something and then they come back at you with attitude while you're in like this stressful, snowy situation, you want to be like, you know what, why don't you come drive this fucking truck and then see how stressed out you get? You know, maybe you're gonna act like shit sometimes too, so whatever. I am glad to be done early tonight. I'm gonna maybe do some fucking kettlebell stuff for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna go in and take a nice shower, and I'm gonna relax and maybe read some Stephen King and enjoy the rest of my long evening, because it's only 5 p.m. and I'm gonna get up tomorrow at 4, so I still have a good amount of time to enjoy my night. I'm not making any money today. I'm working, but you know, you don't get paid for stops, so it doesn't matter how long they take because it's snowy. It doesn't matter why it takes a long time. Your ass ain't getting paid. Unpaid labor is awesome. Unpaid labor is awesome. Just kidding. It's fucking bullshit. Yeah, fuck that. Oh, hello. I'm thinking of Chelsea Handler when I say that. She does that on her Instagram when she posts her instructional videos on, you know, how to not use words in a way that's annoying, or how great it is to not have kids. Oh, hello. Little like PSAs. Anyway, my PSA is help people, because it feels good to help people, and it's nice to pay it forward because you know other people helped you so many times. A girl just came over asking for help because she's trying to hook up to a really heavy reefer and the nose was too low, and she was worried about going underneath it. She thought that it was too low, but I just helped her out. I just gave her another set of eyes and told her to give it a little oomph, and she got under there no problem. It felt so good just to have someone ask me to help and to be able to help. I'm making coffee number 2 today. I've been up since 3:15 because they scheduled my delivery a little early because it was a day late because I got delayed by that snowstorm. And I'm drinking a little protein shake, and I'm trying to tell myself I'm awake, I'm alert, I got this. And I'm in beautiful East St. Louis, Illinois, headed to even more beautiful Nebraska. I think of Nebraska, I think of my great grandma, who was a fucking badass named Zora Dunham, who made it through. Dunham is not my last name, by the way. It's a family name though. Made it through the Depression by growing all of her own stuff and canning it, and she was a smart, tough, motherfucking badass lady. And I'm proud to be of her lineage. Salt of the earth kind of people. She lived to be like 94. She lived to be old and healthy, and apparently she had had breast cancer for like 20 years, and the doctor said something like she had outlived the cancer. Like the cancer cells aged faster than she did or something, and I was like, that sounds about right. I think that's about how I'm gonna be. Let's hope. Anyway, this week has been trying, dealing with things that have been frustrating, but trying to keep on a happy face, you know, because as they say, that's trucking. Clink. Morning, you're inside my microwave. I'm having a really weird morning. Where do I even start? I don't know. Let me start with like the weird but good news. Okay, so I'm sitting in the lot of a Sapp Brothers I kept thinking I was in Nebraska already because I'm going into Nebraska, but I'm actually in Percival, Iowa. This Sapp Brothers, I've never been into one before. I'm making my coffee, by the way, per usual in the morning. I've never been into a Sapp Brothers. This place is so nice, and it's next door to a pilot where my company sent me to fuel. And so I have, you know, showers at the pilot, so I was just going there for showers and whatnot. And yesterday was a wonky day. Wonky is the word for yesterday, because I had all these sensors going off at the end of my drive yesterday, and I was like, and anybody who knows about Freightliners knows Freightliners love sensors. They love to make sensors go off, and sometimes it means there's something wrong, but a lot of times it means nothing. So I checked it out, couldn't figure out anything wrong. All my gauges, my temperatures, everything's fine. But then my cruise control stops working, and that's not okay, obviously. And I had a trailer ABS light, and I've had those false trailer ABS lights a million times, so I didn't take it seriously. Everything seemed to be working fine, no issues with braking. Dude. And then I checked it this morning when I was pre-tripping, and I was like, oh, okay. And I saw this wonkiness. I called our maintenance, and I sent them a picture at first, and the first picture I sent, he was like, he just thought it was like the dust cover was off, and I was like, no, you got to look at this part of it. And then I sent him a video, and he was like, I could see it better from the video. It's like the drum is like falling, it looks like it's falling out of the freaking wheel. I'm sorry, I'm not good at describing that stuff. But anyway, that shit was off. The brakes were off, and thank goodness I wasn't having any issues with braking, so it didn't feel, you know, like it was affecting me while driving, other than not being able to use my cruise control, which is, it's funny how when you get used to it, when you drive trucks, holding your foot on the gas in a truck is not like it is in a car, and it's super fatiguing. And because you have to drive for up to 11 hours a day, you really need it. You really depend on it. So the Sapp brothers, though, I wish I had gone in there last night. Dude, they have luxurious bathrooms with fancy toilets that have bidets, and I am changed. I was like, oh my God, I love this so much. Why doesn't every truck stop have this? Because it takes like a full 5 minutes to go through the process that a bidet goes through with like washing you and drying you, but it is luxurious, makes you feel great. Yeah, I highly recommend it. And I'm just laughing to myself because I went into like the kind of crappy pilot, and I'm actually sitting in the parking lot because I couldn't park in there. It was too crowded last night, and I'm sitting in this really nice truck stops parking lot, and I didn't even go in there until this morning. This load is actually only an hour away from the drop off, and I can't take it there until there's maintenance on this trailer, and I'm a half hour before the maintenance at this Sapp Brothers opens up. So as soon as they open up, I'm gonna walk over there and tell them, hey, I need maintenance. Can you fix my trailer? And I'm guessing it probably won't, hopefully, be a super long repair job. But you know what? I'm fucking glad to have a break because I'm thoroughly exhausted. The last 2 days I have run, yesterday I got done with like 20 minutes left on my clock. And the long story short on that is I'm not really happy with the fleet manager I have on this account, the new one. The last one was so much better. And I think the last one was better at understanding that, you know, drivers are going to have ups and downs because it's stressful out here. And I feel like this fleet manager that I'm dealing with is just like run them hard and don't give a fuck. Like that's the energy that I kind of get from her. I tried to tell her the other day that I want to run recaps, which what that means, if you don't know, is I'm not going to explain it very well, but it's sort of like you have 7 days to do 70 hours. And I'm probably even saying that wrong because I think it's 8. I don't know. But basically, you get on the 8th day, you get time back that was left over from whatever you didn't work on the day 1. And so basically you can work slightly shorter days and save time on your 70-hour clock so you can continuously work without taking a day off for a long period of time and work shorter days. And to me, that's fine because if I'm out on the road, I don't want to be hanging out in truck stops for a 34-hour reset, like being stuck somewhere. I would rather be, let me drive 3 or 4 hours that particular day. Let me just drive. Let me keep moving. That's one of the things I like to do is be mobile. That's part of why I enjoy trucking. So I tried to tell this this fleet manager that I wanted to run recaps. And part of the purpose of that is if you're far away from home, you know, and you have to take a 34-hour reset because you work through your full 70-hour clock in your week, and then you have to take 34 hours off. Well, you're far from home versus like if you run a few weeks and then they route you back towards home for a 34, then you can take it at home and I can go to the stores that I know, I can see my friends, maybe whatever, you know, maybe I can take a couple of days, not just 34 hours. But she doesn't want me to do that because it's harder for them to plan that way. They want to just keep you running because it makes their lives easier. So I already got the sense that she is not concerned with what's best for me, and so I have to advocate for myself, and that's the way it is in this business. So fuck all that. If she doesn't want me to run recaps and she's going to give me a headache about it, then I'm just going to ask for a different fleet manager, or I'm going to switch back to the other account. Like, I would rather be on a national account, but I had a very good rapport with my previous fleet manager. I assume I could probably go back and just be like, can I just be reinstated with that person? I imagine that's probably possible. That account was very simple and straightforward, so I know how to run it at this point. So I'm not going to take bullshit, and neither should you. And when you're in trucking, that's the thing, is like there's many instances where you're going to have to stand up for yourself and say that something doesn't work for you. And you have to remember, they're sitting in an office and they have a 9-hour day or an 8-hour day and then they go home. You're not. You're in a truck. You're going through all kinds of stress that they have no idea about, and those people have never driven trucks, which is fucking mystifying that someone would be telling you and dictating your day to you when they have never done your fucking job, a job like this. That to me is insane. So fuck them. Don't let them get to you. I'm still letting them get to me, but I'm trying not to. And you know, fuck that. I'm just gonna figure out what works best for me, and I'm gonna advocate for myself. I'm not gonna kill myself out here, because that's what this week feels like. I've been killing myself, and I'm run ragged. Yesterday got up at 3:15, didn't shut down until, what time was it, like around 7 or something, 6:30, and I was just so fried. And I don't like the way I feel when I'm driving when I'm like that, because I'm like a zombie, and you get into this zone where you're not fully there. It's like you are, and I'm looking in my mirrors and I'm doing all the things, but a part of me is like on autopilot because of exhaustion. And these fleet managers that do that shit, they don't give a fuck, and it's your CDL, it's your risk. You're the one out here putting yourself and others in danger if you're not properly rested and if you're not doing your schedule in a way that's healthy for you. So you have to just say, put your foot down and be like, I'm not doing that. And my company would always back that, because they want me to be safe. And if I say I feel like I'm being worked in a way that makes me feel less safe, they're going to say, yeah, we don't want that. So should I put you in the microwave? Bye. Let's hope the rest of the day goes smoother. I don't really want to talk to this fleet manager about what I want to change, but I'm going to have to. So wish me luck with that conversation. Just got to lay it down.